PEGI 18.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Viperpain, and I'll be having a look at Call of Duty Ghost today. The game was released yesterday for PlayStation and Xbox, as well as PC. There are quite a few reviews out there already, and this is more of a gameplay than a review. However, I will probably be chiming in a little bit on the very heavy scripting this game has, and how you are, without noticing it visibly, you are being forced into kind of a tunnel system, and this is the only way to go. I do agree with a lot of the critique for this game. It's really sizable, and I can't really understand why it has such high requirements yet so low texture qualities. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it if you, like me, you go only for the game and you like the gameplay and the storylines, which for me as an individual, that's what I really like when I find a good game. But when a game is like Call of Duty Ghost, going for oh look, we're gonna have massive 720p textures and everything, it's like, I have to have a look at it a little bit and see, is this any good? I mean, shadows and everything play quite well in this, but I have to agree with a lot of the other critiques that Battlefield 4, yes, they do have the Frostbite engine, so they do have an advantage on that bit, but Battlefield 4 looks so much more stunning. I wouldn't have been surprised to see this game and this texture quality back in late 2000s. So somewhere 2006 to 2008, when they had the other games. Then again, I just recently replayed another game where the texture qualities that I thought back then was quite good was now on my HD TV did not look good at all, but on 720p TV it looked really, really nice. This is Call of Duty Ghost, and the mission is to infiltrate a building, and we're going to drop off some virus on a computer server. So this is really well made. I actually enjoyed this mission, even though it had a lot of frustrating moments that we will see shortly. Right, so we're rappelling down the building a little bit and going level by level. And something that's annoyed me, and it's not from just this Call of Duty game, it's been there in almost all Call of Duty games that I've tried, it's the heavy scripting. One of the first missions you undertake in this game, there are tons of troops running around. You can fire at them, but you cannot kill them. They're just there to add atmosphere, which detracts from the atmosphere. It would be strategically more smart to take out the troops joining or trying to reinforce the group you already have pinned down. But no, the heavy scripting in this game it's forcing you to play in a certain way. That said, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I do enjoy discovering that part when the scripting is it's meant to take you down a certain part of a story. I am liking when you have freedom. But as you see here, we're going to take out a few of these soldiers on this floor. And they have to be taken out in just the right order. Or you will fail. Or, if you have as me, a very, very bad aim. My bad aim will be a lot more noticeable when we get to the online mode, especially the Extinction, which I have just recently begun. I have had this game less than 24 hours, so I haven't had time to explore all aspects of it yet. But aiming on the console is something that I have never really been a master of. It's been something that I find really, really tricky. So, as you saw, I died, so we have to start over again. as responsive as this game is on the PlayStation, I mean, I can't compare with the PlayStation and the PC. And I've seen the reviews for PC. I do enjoy the controls once you get out of what is scripted. The intermission to this game is absolutely horrible. There are earthquakes, and it's meant to get you into this, oh, this is jump button, this is run button, and move around X, Y, Z. But because of the heavy scripting, the controls aren't working. You are pushing forward, but you're not moving forward, and the feedback you're getting is not good enough. So, for a $100 million game, as I've heard that this is in development, I'm not really seeing that they have bothered that much about ensuring that the game is fully functional. I've heard some people say that Infinity Ward is quite casual and almost nonchalant in making sure that they deliver a good game for the gamers themselves. Now, I'm not really sure where to put myself on this. As you see here, I'm playing quite well. There are a few snags, but it's the first playthrough of this. This is actually live recording as I'm going through this level. So I'm keeping in. Every time I get shot down, I die. And even trying to get the controllers to work. So it can be said about this game that isn't focused around what other people are saying or things I dislike about it, but rather like. Well, it's a little bit of the hand-holding bit, but in a game like this, where they're trying to build an environment that feels open, even though if you have the experience, you notice that it's very closed in, and it's you go this way, this is where you're supposed to go, and there is nothing outside this, and if you accidentally stray off path, you will hit an invisible wall. So we're being joined by NPCs here, or soldiers. The team that you have with you, they do provide decent amount of feedback. You can listen to them if you want to, and it's, from what I've discovered in earlier missions, it's best that you do listen to them, but you can try and take out this troop here. Seemed easy enough. It was 2, 3, that's the 4th guy walking past, and whoops, 5th guy. Now if it had just been 2, you could probably have, well, let's shoot them. But it is instead what they are intending. They want you to experience this bit. I do enjoy the cinematic experience that this is. There's a lot of shooting in between, and as I said, it's scripted, so you can keep killing soldiers and soldiers and soldiers and soldiers, and they just keep coming unless you actually move forward. So I guess it's not really in the plus column that the game is focused around what you're doing. It doesn't matter. You are the one that have to move forward a little bit, and then the rest of the guys will move forward. Your side kicks, they're really, in fact, they're quite useless. They add to an atmosphere of the environment. But you're going to see here now, this is a mission to take out a soldier that comes out here. Oops, we got shot through the window here. Right. This is a perfect example of the scripted events that they have had throughout the Call of Duty series. That is very frustrating. So, whoa, here comes troops. So what I'm supposed to do? I'm getting no indication, no nothing. Right. Well, I do have the knife in my hand, so I should probably use my knife. So let's try that. Do I have a fire button for my mouse? Or do I have a fire button for my knife? Well, I can't really tell, because I'm not getting any input or feedback from it. So, let's try this again. I'm getting the signal from my soldier, my teammates, and oops, here I'm being shot down again. So where's my backup? Why isn't he taking care of the troops running out there? He could easily shoot them from top. I have no idea, but the scripting calls for this type. So, we're going to have to do it again. I must say though that the loading time is acceptable for the amount of times that you will fail to do exactly what is expected of you from the reset to reload. This is a live recording, so the load times on the PlayStation 3 is exactly this fast. My PlayStation 3 is fairly old, so it should be a little bit slower than a brand new one. And I have a feeling that once the PlayStation 4 comes here to Europe, we will see even faster load times. Right, let's try this mission again. And we're being forced down. As I said, this is the scripted tunnel system. We're being shot through the windows on the floor, and we can't really see or aim that way, so we can't really get out of it. So we're forced to take this route. So down here, stab him, and here's the troops. And here I'm dead again. There are quite a lot of these instances in the game, in the actual story mode of this game. You end up in a certain corridor or an event, and you must move forward. You must take the next objective so that your troops move forward. But you have to put your own neck on the line. And when you do so, you're being flanked, you're being shot from above, underground, there's a grenade being tossed in. But you still have to push forward. This was another method. I was trying to sneak kill him, thinking that could have solved the issue, but regrettably it didn't. Right. So it turns out you have to kill this guy. You have to jump down and stab him. It took me a while before I noticed that I do get a crosshair, however minuscule it is. And as I said, I warned earlier, there are a few spoilers. You have to manage to aim the crosshair just at this guy's throat. I'm not sure if it's a glitch or that you can aim on the entire body of the soldier approaching, but the only area that I found that worked for me was if you aim and manage to keep the aim at the approaching soldier's throat. So let's have a look here. And here goes it. And I'm not sure if you noticed this, but the guy that runs in, when you succeed, suddenly he isn't shooting. But if you're not spot on, he shoots before you even have a chance to play spot on. So you have to place your cursor already exactly where it's supposed to be. This is another example of what I mean with this. The guys that do the Call of Duty series, they're using and relying too much on these scripted events. And it's quite frustrating. Now, I read an article that was out this morning. I think it was either on Game Reactor or the game industry that said, we're not too worried about these negative critiques. And I go, what? A game of this size should always listen to whatever critique it gets. I'm not saying that you should listen to everyone, but if you're starting to get a lot of negative feedback, people saying, look, this isn't really as you advertised. There's a little bit too much off here. Now, I know people love the scripted events that the actual conveyor belt pushed forward to achieve goals, but come on. If you build something this big, if you spend $100 million, then you should allow or build in a little bit of freedom. I mean, this is... I can't really say that there is much effort put into this game. And from what I've been told, the original crew at Infinity Ward isn't there anymore. So, this might be a warning for you with epilepsy as well, but if you're playing this game, I'm thinking you're quite safe. I was not too keen on this part of the mission because the strobe lights on a 42-inch TV was really flashing up the entire room. I actually had to turn on the full room lighting to compensate for this. It adds to the atmosphere though, and for those of you that have seen Kick-Ass, you understand the effect. That the pulsating light, the strobing light, is really confusing to watch at. So it gives you the advantage here. I do like that they have put a lot of these sort of military combat maneuvers and moves into the game. As far as the storyline is, I have got a little bit further than this, but I haven't had time to explore that much because there is the online version, the battles, and also the Extinction mode. I have just managed to play through the first round of the Extinction mode, and I'm really enjoying it. It is, however, just as this, highly scripted, and you must achieve this, and if you're a little bit off, then oops, sorry. So that means that the team that you play with must do exactly what they need to do, and you need to keep an eye on each other. It's a little bit disappointing for an online version of it, but I do understand what they're trying to do, and I'm hoping that it will improve as we do go along further into the Extinction mode. I have a feeling it's more of a storyline just as the game itself. It is fairly surprising. I really enjoyed what was happening, but I cannot say at this very point that I've understood enough. And I have a feeling that the further in I get on the normal story mode, the more will be revealed about what Extinction really is. Now, as in terms of difficulty on this game, I can't really say that I'm finding it overly challenging. The hard modes are hard, but the scripting kind of reduces the purpose of it being hard. Yes, you have less hit points and you have a little bit less ammo, but it's because of the scriptings. All you really need to do is find your spot, the place where they put you, that they want you to be, so that you see all the cool stuff. So, here's another area where the controls suddenly started being off. I have no idea why they stopped working. And, whoops, suddenly they're throwing stuff at you. So, why? Where did that come from? And there was really no feedback in the control. So, there is a lot that Infinity Ward can improve on the Call of Duty. But I have a feeling that what the other reviewers, the game magazines are saying, this game may actually have ruined it a little bit. The war shooters, they seem to be on the way out, and declining sales number and everything may be part of that. But on this bit I have to disagree. I think that the reason that there are low sales number for Call of Duty Ghost is because it's simply not as good as advertised. I'm actually enjoying this game. I must admit that. I am enjoying it quite a lot, because there is now a period from now until just about Christmas time before it will be more interesting game releases coming out. Or at least game releases that I would find be interesting for me. I will be testing a lot of games between now and Christmas, of course, but what you want to play for a long term, those games are quite few and far between. So therefore, Call of Duty Ghosts is something I will probably be playing quite a lot. I will be looking through the first mission here, and then I will see if I can replay this at the hardest level. Because as I said, I tried it at a really hard difficulty, and it's like, if you stand behind this box, then you're safe, and you just need to peek out, and then shoot, and suddenly you're safe anyway. So, as long as you behave and really follow the rules within the scripted, the difficulty level seems to matter very little. But it will be interesting to see if I can defeat this game on its hardest level. Right, we're getting closer to the end of the mission here. We are looking for our main target here. So for you, that's that don't want a spoiler, haven't played through this far, I would advise that you turn it off now and hit like and subscribe. The game story, as I understand it so far, is quite generic. If I'm going to be brutally honest, this game story is quite the generic story. It's the typical butch dad with the deep bass voice. They haven't really expanded or anything, and I've already lost track of the amount of cliches. And if you continued watching, then you'll see that this is yet another cliche. Blah blah blah, threat, and ha ha ha, this is a trap. What a surprise. Let's get out of here. As an overall Call of Duty genre, I'm not sure if I would want to say that this game reminds me of what the first Call of Duty were, but as a game that is bringing on a new story to the market, yeah, I do like this one. Even though it's that generic, it's actually working. Now, here we have more frustrating tunnel scenarios, scripted events that I can't really run past these guys, and because the building is shaking and everything, they're forcing the controller to completely stop working every now and then, and you'll see that suddenly I'm looking at an odd angle or can't really do anything. I'm trying to move, but look, nothing is happening. Also, something I find slightly disappointing is that they put in these film events where you can move around and look around a little bit, and suddenly you have to interact, even though it's a film event. And yes, it's good to see that you're paying attention, but look at this. So, alright, here it is. Flash, quick. Oh, press this button. I pressed it just as it disappeared, but it wasn't good enough. So, get back to the last respawn point and run again. I do hope that they come up with a little bit more innovative and a little bit more freedom in the inevitable downloadable content. Question is, will they ever break the mold? Or are they going to continue with the sort of arrogance of, we're too big to be reviewed out of this? I mean, that kind of arrogance is not good. Anyway, my name has been Mr. Viperbane. I've been reviewing Call of Duty Ghost and the gameplay from the story missions. I will be uploading the online mode, the Extinction, in a short while. So hit like and subscribe, and do let me know in the comments below